Thomas, I'll start with you since you're on top of my screen here. Why did you choose UMass?
It's the only one that came to Austria and looked for a hockey player. No, reality is, like, I was only the second Austrian to play college hockey. A good friend of mine played up in Maine. I think he graduated in 2001, but college hockey wasn't a thing at home. And I, up until about, a year before I came to UMass, I didn't know anything about it. And I actually wanted to go play in the Ontario Hockey League. And one of the assistant coaches back when I was there, Bill Gilligan, he actually coached my dad in the early 80s. They were friends, and he told us about it. And my dad was sold on it right away, and I was too.
What was your initial impression of UMass when you the first day you came to class?
Yeah, that this place is big. That it was huge. And me and Mikey, coming from, we went to a Catholic high school in Boston, and then we went to, with 700 kids. And then going to Avon Old Farm, which had 400 kids, being able to come from there and go to this city of UMass Amherst was really eye-opening and incredible. And, I don't know if I was prepared for it at the beginning. I definitely wasn't prepared for it at the beginning. These two guys know. But I think once you settle down and once you can embrace that, and really start looking at the environment and looking at the community and saying, hey, this could be amazing, right? If you just embrace it the way that I eventually did, it became something special.
Mike, I'll start you off on the next question. Where's the favorite place? Where's your fondest memories of one of your dorms and or apartments on campus, off campus? Who did you live with? Any funny stories that are shareable on our Zoom call here?
While you're looking at them, I lived with Tommy all 4 years.
Okay. So
we were roommates. We were on at Thoreau in Southwest, which is a lower rise. And then we moved off campus to Hazel Ave. It's over kind of, what is it, Route 9 there, Tommy?
Yeah, it's right next to the football fields of
the Amherst fields there, Amherst College fields. And there was actually, it's a dead-end street with like 5 houses, and there was another hockey house on the end of the street. So it was like one house in between the two of ours. And it's actually this really great family. They owned both houses. And they had a bunch of little kids. So they used to come to all the games. We used to play like street hockey and baseball with them and stuff. But in that house, it was a 5-bedroom. So it was me and Tommy, Nick Kuiper, and Timmy Turner. Who am I missing?
Chris Morgan. We had a baseball player.
Oh, yeah, we had a baseball player that lived with us. And then the next year, my senior year, Timmy moved in, Greg Malden moved in, and it was the 3 seniors, me, Tommy, and Kipes. As for the stories, I don't know.
Nothing we can share on Zoom.
Story.
Thomas, how about you? What was your major when you were here, and any favorite classes and or professors?
Yeah, I mean, for me, a big thing was obviously coming from Austria. I had to, at that point, I was thinking, I come over, I do my college, I play. Obviously, you don't know where your hockey is going to go. I figured I got to take something that I can use at home, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to look at it. When I was at home, I'm very interested in, becoming a teacher. Like Timmy said, my uncle's in a teacher, and I liked the idea of it. I also thought about going to law school at home before I went to UMass. And then at UMass, I figured I'd do the sports management, because that's something we didn't have at the time in Austria. There was no sports management classes. You could just go with management. And got into it. I really enjoyed it. It was a great program. We had awesome professors with a lot of experience. I had to pick, there's 2 professors, Dr. Halligan in psychology. Obviously, the classes we had with him, but also how much he helped us, with the hockey program and having him on the rink. So he was an awesome influence for me. But on the school side of it, Stephen Mckelvie was a teacher that I still to this day stay in touch a little bit. And every now and then, we talk on the phone through the little email. And I believe he runs the, management department, the law side of it at UMass for sports management.
How about you, Mike? Anything different? Any different memories that you had from the Mullins and your experience?
Yeah. Well, yeah, our junior year there was a big transition year for the program, I think. And we really started winning some big games. It was the first time we got ranked in the USCHO poll, which at the time they only did top 15. That was the first time in program history. And there was a game, I do remember the main game too, but there was a game we played BU. We had a really good crowd and we beat them in overtime. And I think that was kind of the moment for a lot of like people around the program, people in the program were like, okay, like this could be something big. And like we had some big wins that year. Up in Maine on the road was huge in the playoffs. It was a huge upset. But in terms of memories at the Mullins, that one BU game, it was an overtime win, was pretty awesome.
That was the year you could tell things were changing, right? We weren't losing 6 or 7 to 1 anymore, right? Like maybe once in a while against BC, right? They might pump us, but you know, the game started getting a lot closer. And you know, we were now consistently beating the Merrimacks and we were beating Lowell and we're beating Providence. And Providence was good at the time too, right? But you know, we started knocking on the door of these better programs and it started to turn.
When that happened, did you guys notice? Like, I'm amazed now when I go to a away game how many UMass fans are like BC or BU. Was it like that for you guys too once you started turning around?
I've noticed that. Not this past season, the season before. Me and my wife went to the game at BC towards the end of the year, and it was all UMass people. Yeah. And I did notice a couple times this year when I went to games in Boston, it was a lot of that. I don't really remember having the same following. Honestly, I think, Ben, it was you guys last year or the last couple of years, what you guys have done. But I don't think it was really like that.
You know, the hockey's playoffs, the 2 years we played in the Garden, that was all UMass.
Right.
You know, that was people coming out in droves, but like on a consistent, you know, in the greater Boston area coming out, now you'd have the same 20 people, right? And you guys probably even know them by name because they've been coming out for so long. They're still coming out with that. You know, those are the people who are traveling and watching us, other than our families and girlfriends, right? But no, it's not anything like it is today.
Right, kind of a change it up here a little bit. But I'll start with you, Timmy, on this one. If you could talk to your younger self before your UMass career started, what would you say?
That's actually a really good question. You know, when I came in, you know, I was an 18-year-old freshman. Like I was young, right? I was March 4th, 83, and came in with just all the normal kids of my age, and everybody that I was coming in with was a year or two older than me. And you know, I think that I don't know if I had a realistic understanding of what it takes to be successful at that level, right? And I eventually learned how to, you know, change my body and change my work ethic and change my organization and time management skills. But, you know, I think that coming in, you know, I just had this perception that I'm going to come in and play hockey and we're going to win. And, you know, I had never played on a team that lost before I came to UMass, and UMass had never won before I came to UMass. So it was this weird transition that I just don't think I was ready for, and thought I was ready, but looking back, I wasn't. And you know, I think if I could go back and tell myself, it would be able to tell them that, listen, this is your craft. You need to dedicate 100% of your time and effort into doing this well, and you're here to do a job.
What teammate, coach, or professor had the largest effect on you while you were at UMass?
Honestly, I was really happy with our coaching staff. I think they helped us, obviously, like Bill for bringing us over, but then Mark and Toot, like they've done a great job. But, you know, I think the teammate Mike, obviously, they became like my family. They're like my brothers. And I think the influence they had on me was more than any coach or teacher. But a big part of it is, like you said, we were kind of like family. We lived there. Every time there was a vacation, I would go to their house and stay with them. They would come see me in the summer. Like, we're hanging out every day for basically 4 years straight.
Sure.
So that's probably both of them.
Mike, same question to you. What teammate, coach, or professor had the largest effect on you while at UMass?
Well, how can I not say Tommy now after he just dropped that bomb? Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, Tommy and Nick Kuiper, for the fact that we only had 3 people in our class on the hockey team was pretty cool. Like the 3 of us were really, really tight the whole way through. And I think that was really important. Some of the other classes, like Timmy's class that came in, they came in with like 11 kids that next year or something. I think the fact that we only had 3 was a really cool thing for us because we were so tight.
Timmy, same question to you while you're in the dark room there.
Yeah. This one doesn't work. Oh, what the heck is going on?
That's all right. We can see your silhouette.
All right, good.
Professor had the largest effect on you while at UMass.
Yeah. You know, I think when you look back, you know, you look at the friendship that Tommy, Mike, and I have, you know, which is special, right? And we continue to come back, right? There's a reason why we're continuing to come back. And yeah, it's we're proud of what we built, you know, and what we were able to get started. But you know, I think we come back because we have such amazing memories together at this place. And you know, that is super important to me, and I know it is to them too. And you even look at the guys in my class, you look at like Craig McDonald or Pete Travato, you know, or a Dusty Deminick or a Jeff Lang. You know, these are guys that are continuing to come back as well. And you know, we have friendship and something in common that's going to last us for the rest of our lives together.